Hi, my name is Noor and welcome to my very first knitting video. So firstly, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit so you know who I am, and then I will show you everything I knit in my first 6 months as a beginner knitter. Then I'll go into my current whips, and then I will also go into a few things I want to cast on pretty soon. Oh yeah, and I have two very curious cats who might show up quite a bit in this video. Okay, so who am I? My name is Noor, I live in Belgium, and as I said, I've been knitting for the past 6 months. I started knitting in September 2025 when I was dealing with postpartum depression. My son was 6 months old back then. He now just turned 1, and it was really tough, and I was looking for a new creative outlet, something to try and do and take my mind off things, and something to do with my hands other than be on social media, be on my phone. And I've always had a lot of creative interests, a lot of passions, a lot of things I love to do, but nothing seemed appealing at the time, so I wanted to try something new. And I had some knitting supplies that I had received from a friend a few years back. I actually tried knitting when she gave me everything, but the first time, I think that was back in 2021 or 2022, and I didn't really feel it. I was looking at some tutorials on YouTube, but I hadn't found the whole knitting community thing. I didn't know what I was doing, and I ended up not really looking much more into it because I know myself, and I know that when I get into something, I get fully into something, and I didn't really have any spare time. So I thought I was gonna leave that on the side for some other day, further down the line, and that day happened. So in September, actually I first started learning how to sew, and I loved it, and that was amazing. And then I remembered that I had all these knitting supplies, and I thought, might as well also try knitting, because why not learn two things at the same time? But I also watched Sydney Graham's video on learning how to knit and how she did it, and I thought it was really cool. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try too, because she's a sewist and she knits and she inspires me, and she talked about the knitting online community, and that's what kind of drew me to it. So I picked up the supplies and realized that actually the yarn I had didn't match the needles, so I don't really know what happened when my friend bought everything. But yeah, it was strange. So I looked online and I actually bought more yarn and bought more needles and did something completely different. So I still have all the supplies that she gave me, but I haven't used the yarn, but I have plans for it now. And I also have my own needles. We'll get into this later maybe. So I first started knitting by just doing rows of knits and purls, trying out different types of yarns, different needle sizes. I actually got a book. I have it right here. You can see one of my cats has scratched the cover, but it's You Will Be Able to Knit by the End of This Book by Rosie Fletcher. And it was really nice. I thought it would be nice to actually learn with a book, to have all the techniques written down and not necessarily have to watch videos all the time. And yeah, I mean, I ended up watching a lot of videos anyways, but it was a good starting point. I didn't really make anything from this. Oh yeah, I actually made a beanie from this. I made the very first, where is it? Let me find it. This, the slouchy beanie. It's very similar to a very old petite knit pattern, but I ended up frogging it because it was very itchy. I made it with drops kid silk, and also it grew a lot with blocking. It was way too big and it kept like falling over my eyes, so I hated it, so I frogged it. But then my very first project after this was a Sophie scarf, because why not? So I made my first Sophie scarf, and I actually don't have it here. It's downstairs in the stroller because I don't wear it, and my son wears it way more than me because I don't know, it's just not really my style. It's also not very well made. It was my first try, and I didn't really care about making it perfect. I just wanted to learn techniques. So it was very good for that. I knit it using Drops Merino Extra Fine. It's a 100% Merino superwash yarn. Since then, I've actually learned a bit more about superwash, and I'm not really that keen on using superwash very often, for garments at least. And I'm also always favoring natural yarns, natural fibers. So I haven't been using any acrylic yarn so far. Then I also wanted to make a beanie for my son. I made it using Drops Snow. If you used it before, it's very itchy. He hated it, the poor thing. I put it on him like once and he cried, so I had to take it off, and I frogged it because I thought that was very unfair to him and I didn't want him to have to wear this. So then I made him another beanie, and I have it here. It's a very simple black beanie using Drops Air, and it's really cute. I actually cannot remember which pattern I used, but I used a pattern. I think it was like a free pattern that I followed on a random blog. But the thing is, it was like still one of my first projects. Maybe that actually was before the Sophie scarf. The first few projects are very blurry. They were all in September. I think I kind of started a lot of things at the same time. So I had a few whips going. I can't remember when everything exactly was, but then things start getting much clearer, you'll see. But yeah, the ribbing is non-existent. So I kind of messed, I don't know what I did. I think I said ribbing and then I probably dropped a stitch. So it became, I think it's must stitch when you alternate. Because I probably had an odd number of stitches on my brim. So yeah, it's a beanie, drops air, simple, nothing more to add. Then in October, things started getting a little more interesting. We actually took our first family trip for my birthday and we went on a road trip to Copenhagen, which is a city I love. I've been there many times, but also as a new knitter, it was heaven. So I was very excited to visit a lot of yarn stores. I made quite a few purchases that I loved. I was so happy with them. I still have some of that yarn. I didn't buy anything not for a specific project. I'm not really into the idea of having a yarn stash. I'd much rather buy yarn for projects. Also, a lot of those projects I actually haven't made. I've changed my mind. I've decided to do something else. But I haven't bought like yarn without a purpose. So, October. I knit my partner a scarf. Also in drops of snow because I guess I haven't learned my lesson. So it is quite itchy. But it's fine. Like he doesn't mind too much, I think, and I wear it sometimes, and my skin is very sensitive to itchiness, and it's actually okay. It's in this very dark navy blue. It's a very simple ribbed scarf, so I actually knitted mostly in the car. So that was my travel project, and yeah, it took forever because it's 2x2 rib, and I really was a beginner, and it took a long time. It was very boring to knit. The next thing I made was actually my first project I was really proud of. And I don't have it here because I made it for my partner and he's got it right now and he's on a work trip. So here's a picture. But it was the hipster hat by Petite Knit. And I actually knit it using, so I have my laptop here with all my notes. So I used Pernilla by Phil Colana in color Tangelo. So it's this beautiful orange color, and I actually still have a skein because the pattern said that I would need 2 skeins, but I only needed 1. So I'm thinking for next winter I'll make my son a matching hat because the hipster hat pattern also comes in kid sizes, so it would be cute for them to have matching hats. But I actually made my son his first nice looking hat, and it was this one. It's pilling. I've actually de-pilled it a while ago. I need to do it again. But it's the Albert's Pinot hat by Petite Knit. Again, you'll see there's a lot of Petite Knit patterns in here. Not that I'm a huge fan, but when I started, I really didn't know where to look at. I was a bit confused, so I had tried the Sophie scarf and thought it was very well written and very clear and easy to follow with all the video instructions as well. So I just wanted things to be very simple so that I could learn all the techniques, and I'm very happy I did so. So I'm not gonna knit only Petite Knit, but I think her patterns have a place. So you'll see there's more of her coming, but not only her. And so yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out, and he still wears it. There's supposed to be a pom-pom, but I didn't put it on because he often wears a hood over the beanie and it would be very uncomfortable. This was knit using Sandnes Garn Sunday in this very nice cream color. It was held double, but I didn't know it was going to build this much. But I guess it's normal because his head is always rubbing on the stroller or in a hood, so makes sense. But I'm very happy with it. And the button I actually got from the Knitting for Olive store in Copenhagen, so yeah, I love it. It's just like a very simple wooden button. And actually here you can see the beanie. Here there's a bit of a, yeah, that's not great, but it's fine. I mean, for a first project that wasn't just a simple in the round beanie or scarf, I think it's pretty good. So that was October. In November, I made him a balaclava, and this is the Monday balaclava by Petite Knit. Also using the exact same yarn, the same Sandnes Garn Sunday yarn. and it's cute. He wears it a lot. I picked up too many stitches around the face for the brim, like the ribbing. And also it was my very first time doing an Italian cast off, and it shows. Like in some places it's really badly done, but I mean, it's okay. Yeah, you try, you learn. I'm very happy that I made this. I really like the I-cord edge. I think it's really cool. I learned a lot from this again. And I'm actually very happy that I have a baby, but for many reasons. But knitting wise, I'm very happy that I have a baby because it allows me to try small projects and learn all the techniques before I apply them to adult size projects, which is really cool because they go much faster. And as you can see, I've been knitting a lot for other people. What about me? So I finally made myself an actual project. Very simple, but I've been loving it and wearing it a lot. And it is the Simple Hood by Lia Licke. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce her name, I'm sorry. But this is the hood. I can put it on. Yips. I really like it. It's so soft. I knit this up using Snefnug by Kama Rose, and it's one of my favorite yarns. I really like it because I think it's a blown yarn, and a lot of blown yarns I've seen and tried, because I've tried a few actually by now, have some acrylic or nylon or some kind of polyester, some kind of unnatural fiber. And yeah, I'd rather avoid it if I can. And Snefnug is 100% natural fiber, so it's really cool. I think the core is, I think it's the core that's a cotton. It's a very nice yarn. It's very soft. And the pattern was very easy to follow, so perfect. By the way, this is Dunphy. He is turning 3, I think, or 4? Wait, when did I get him? No, he's turning 4. He was meant to be named Salem, but I got him and he was so goofy that I ended up naming him Dunphy, in reference to Phil Dunphy in Modern Family. So then I knit up a small pair of mittens for my son. They're in this roller downstairs as well. They are very simple baby mitts that I knit up using double Sendai by Sandnes garn in a very beautiful deep forest green. And I actually still have a few skeins of this that I will probably use next winter for something. I just kind of mixed a couple of different free patterns that I found online. And yeah, I knit up a nice pair of mittens that he wears a lot and love them. Now we're getting to December. December, once again, was mostly for other people because gift knits and because I guess I'm a generous knitter like this, but not anymore. Now I'm knitting for myself. I'm tired of knitting for other people. Maybe that makes me very selfish, but what are you gonna do about it? So I wanted to knit something for two of my friends and I sent them options, patterns, and they picked what they wanted. So I didn't decide to knit 2 more petite knit patterns at that time, but that's what happened. So I had a friend who really wanted a small scarf and I sent her a few different options and she picked the Sophie scarf. So I knit another Sophie scarf and I knit it in a white Sandnes garn duo, so which is a cotton merino blend. And yeah, it was fun. She likes it. It's very soft. That's all. And then for my other friend, she wanted a hat, so I sent her a few different options and she picked the Oslo hat by Petite Knit as well. This one was knit using Sunday by Sandnes garn again, but this time in this very beautiful burgundy color. I had to knit the brim a little bit shorter because I wasn't sure I would have enough yarn, and that was a good decision because I would have run out of yarn if I had knitted to pattern. And then there was a bit of a kerfuffle. So I wanted to knit myself the Stay Extra Toasty scarf by Kutova, and I started and I really loved it. But I was using Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair in a white that's like an off-white that's quite yellow. It's the elderflower color, and I actually don't think it would suit me as a scarf. The color is a bit too yellow for me. So I actually recently frogged it to use the yarn for other projects that I will talk about later. But then I ended up knitting the Stay Toasty scarf, so the smaller version for my mom as a gift knit. And for this, I wanted something very nice. So I held together one strand of compatible cashmere by knitting for Olive and one strand of pure silk. And it was really nice. Like, she really likes the scarf. She wears it all the time. It was in white. I was very proud of myself because that was the first more textured project that I was doing. So yeah, it turned out really nicely. I don't have it here, of course, but yeah, it was great. And finally, the last thing I knit in December was for myself, and that was a headband because I was tired of my ears being cold when I had my hair up and couldn't wear a beanie. So and also the hood looked very weird with when I have my hair up. So I knitted the, I don't know how it's pronounced, Joe headband by November Knits. Very quick, very easy, but very itchy because I reused the yarn I had frogged from my first hat. So this is using Drops Kid Silk Mohair and something else. I can't remember what the other yarn is. I think it's another Drops yarn, but that has some acrylic in it, I think. I can't remember. I think it's Drops Sky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Drops Sky in this off-white color. Yeah, I like it. It's very comfy, but it does get itchy at some point. But you know, when it's over my hair, it's fine. So just like my forehead gets a bit itchy, but it's okay. And that takes us to this year, 2026, and my very first sweater, which was a baby sweater because might as well try new techniques on a smaller project. And I'm very happy with it. I decided to knit my son the Novice sweater by Petite Knit. So that's the smallest size. There are some imperfections like the underarm holes. I wasn't really sure how to make them smaller, and now I've learned. I don't have this issue on mine, so you know, you live and you learn again. It was a very quick project. It took me, let me check. It took me 7 days. 7 days to knit this. And bear in mind, I can only knit during naps when I don't have anything else to do. And in the evenings for like an hour or two before I'm too tired and go to bed. So yeah, that was really quick. I knit this using Drops Air. This also has some content of non-natural fiber, but it's very soft, it's very nice, it's durable. It doesn't really pill. I mean, yeah, it does pill, but not too bad. Like, it's fine. For a baby sweater, I mean, it's really cool. So nothing more to add to this, I think. Yeah, just a very simple basic sweater. No German short rows, nothing special. It's just a circular yoke sweater, so very, very simple. Nothing major, but still first sweater. And then I made one. And then something terrible happened. And then, still in January, something terrible happened. My slippers broke, but I had and still do have a bunch of Drops Snow in stash that I originally bought for other projects before realizing it was very itchy. So you see where I'm going with this? Oops. Sailor slippers. I didn't really think I would knit these, but I did because I needed a pair of slippers and I was like, you know what? I have everything in stash. I can knit these basically for free, so why would I go out and buy slippers? So I did, and I love them. I wear them all the time. When I took them out of the washing machine, they were so small, I was like, oh, damn. I messed up. I can't wear these. And then I put them on my feet and they stretched. And now they're perfectly molded to my feet. And it's amazing. And I've heard people say they're very slippery, but I don't really find them slippery, even though we have tiles on the floor. So yeah, I don't have a lot more to say. Oh yeah, one thing I don't like is, you know, as I'm carrying my baby a lot, I would like to have mules so I can just like slip my foot. Whoops. In it. Nice socks, I know. But these are very uncomfortable when you just slip them on because of the I-cord edge that ends up under your heel. So I think I'm going to start looking for a pattern for felted mules at some point. or make my own. Sailor slippers, they need no introduction. I love them, I wear them. Let's move on. And that takes us to last month, which is February. So February, it's a very hard word to say. So I have 2 projects that I finished then, and they're both for me. So I made the weekend hat by Petite Knit, another Petite Knit pattern, I know, but it's really nice. I hated knitting this because it's 1x1 rib on 3mm needles, and it felt like it took forever. I just couldn't do this anymore, because also it's a double folded brim, the triple folded, double folded, but I think I'm folding it more than it should be. Anyways, yeah, it was a long process, but I love the result. I knit this using Filcolana, Tilia, and Arwetta in steel. Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. It's really soft. It's the softest mohair I've used so far. Much softer than Knitting for Olive, actually. So yeah, I just love this. I wear this all the time, and as soon as I put it on, I was like, no, I really want to knit another one, but I also don't want to knit another one. I want to have another one. I don't want to knit it. So we'll see how I feel by next winter. I would love a bright red beanie like this. I love it. I have nothing more to add. I just love it, and it's perfect. It's really well made. I'm very proud of myself. There's nothing really wrong with it. So it's just a beanie, I know, but it's great. And the next thing I have is my sweater, my first adult size sweater. And as you might be able to tell, it has a lot of problems. The sleeves are very short, the body is very wide, the armholes come very low, and it's pilling like hell. So this is the Cinema Sweater by Kutowa Kika. It's a very simple top-down raglan, seamless. Also, you start with the color, so you don't have to pick up any stitches. So it was very easy. It was pretty quick because I didn't hit gauge because I didn't have the right yarn, because I think it calls for drop swish, which has been discontinued. So I used the drops melody because I know that Veronica Lindberg, aka Kutowa Kika, really likes it, so I thought it could be a good choice because she uses it a lot in her sweaters. But my gauge was really off, so in order to get, I think I wanted to get a size M or L, and I had to knit a size extra small instead. But with the yarn I was using and with my gauge, that was still obviously too big. Also, I had heard that Drops Melody grows a lot with blocking, so I ended up knitting the sleeves shorter than the pattern asked for, so that they would grow. Also because the pattern, like, she loves very, very long sleeves, so I didn't want very long sleeves. So I knit them a bit shorter, and they grew when I blocked it, and then they shrunk back up. Same for the body. Also, the armholes come so low, it's very annoying because I cannot wear, I mean, I can wear a coat over it, but it's very uncomfortable. It's soft, it's really soft, which is nice. But the thing is, when I was knitting it and the first time I wore it, it was just shedding so much. And with a baby, it's really not great because he would just get fluff in his mouth, and it was everywhere, and it was very annoying. So yeah, not a fan of the yarn, and now that it doesn't shed anymore, it pills. And I've been deep pilling it like crazy, and it keeps pilling. So I don't know if it's just a me problem with this yarn, if I got a bad batch, because I feel like people really like this. But I do not. So I kind of love the sweater because it's very cozy, very comfy, very nice to wear at home. But I also hate it because it's so full of mistakes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this sweater. I do wear it for now. It's my first and only handmade sweater that I've made for myself, but I will probably not wear it that much when I have more. So that was actually my last FO, my last finished object. So now we can move on to my current WIPs. So as I was telling you, I'm a very generous knitter. So I've decided to knit a sweater for my partner. And of course, I had to pick something on 4mm needles when my own first sweater was knit on 6. millimeter needles. And also, it's a man sweater, so it's big. It's taking forever. I casted this on at the beginning of January, and I finally just cast off the first sleeve yesterday evening. So I still have one more sleeve to go. It is the Hans Holm sweater by Petite Knit. And honestly, I feel like I'm doing a great job. It's really nice. I'm using Drops Soft Tweed. Not that soft, honestly. I mean, it's very soft when you touch it like this, but worn, it's not that great. The cool thing though, even though that's a gift knit, I tried it on yesterday and it actually fits me pretty well. So it's for him, but it's also gonna be for me because I'm not waiting until I finish another sweater to wear one if the weather is cold. So, because so the thing is, I hate all the sweaters that I have that I've bought before. They're old, they're bad quality, most of them. Long story short, a couple years ago, most of my wardrobe was lost in a move. So I moved from London back to Belgium, and yeah, my suitcase with most of my clothes, with all of my sweaters, with all of my winter clothes and my pants was lost. So I had to rebuild my wardrobe with very little money. So I didn't get to buy a lot of good quality stuff. I bought everything secondhand, but still I couldn't find really anything I really liked. So my goal is now to build myself a nice wardrobe. I don't really have a lot more to add to this, but it's really nice. It's almost done. So I think I'll have this done, I don't know, in a couple days. Like in a few days it should be finished. So then I'll block it and he'll get it. I can work on other projects finally. I mean, I've started working on other projects at the same time, of course. My next one is another sweater for myself, and you guessed it, I'm sorry, it's another Petite Knit pattern, but I don't know, I just keep seeing it everywhere and it looks very appealing, it looks very simple, very nice. So this is the Cloud Sweater. The Cloud Sweater by Petite Knit. I'm knitting this holding, woohoo, where is it? So this is Cos by Sandnes Garn. It's not as soft as I thought it would be. Originally I wanted to use Snefnug by Camarose again, but I couldn't get my hands on it in the color I wanted, so I ended up ordering this one. And I'm using Midnight Soul by Camarose, which is a very, very nice mohair alternative. It's so soft, it's natural fibers, it doesn't have any mohair. I love this. I actually had a few skeins of this from my friend who I got all the supplies from. I just had to purchase a few more. And the dye lots kind of match. I mean, they're not the same, but they look exactly the same. I also have this yarn in black, which is great. I'm knitting this on 5mm needles. I have these really cute stitch stoppers that I got in Copenhagen from one of the yarn stores I visited. These were my little souvenirs. These, and I also have some with reindeers, really cute. I actually love using stitch stoppers because I've seen a lot of people say they're not indispensable and you can use other things, or you can also not use them. With knitting when my son is sleeping and sometimes having to just get up quickly and get him when he wakes up, and the cats being around who love to play with yarn, I have to use stitch stoppers or everything will fall off my needles. And then yesterday I cast on a new project that I'm very excited about with my Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in elderflower that I frogged from the Stay Extra Toasty scarf. And it is this. It's still very small, but it is doesn't look like much right now, but it's the Sadie blouse by Woozy by Celine. I'm knitting the size large and I'm so excited. So it's just one strand of mohair on 6.5mm needles, but casting on and setting it up was very tricky because you cast on with 8mm needles and then you switch to 6.5. The thing is, in my interchangeable needle kit, I don't have 6.5, I only have 6 or 7. So I used some non-interchangeable needles that I had, that I bought before, that were very cheap, and they do the job for most projects. Honestly, they're great for the price. But the cord is quite thick, but also it's very grippy. It's like a very, I don't know, it's plastic and it just grips. So with mohair and very thin yarn, it's impossible to get the stitches moving around nicely. So I ended up ordering the 6.5 millimeter needle tips that go with my interchangeable kit from Knit Pro. They're the bamboo ones so that I can use them with my normal cables, so it will be much nicer to knit, but I'm very excited for that one. I'm very excited for summer knits actually. And then my next project that I haven't cast on yet, but I have swatched for it. Don't judge my swatch. I know it's small, but at least I swatched, okay? But it is the Sunny Side Cap by Wool and Beyond. I print my patterns, so it's easier to reference without having to be on my phone or my computer. And I'm so excited for this one. I haven't cast it on yet, but I will probably do this today or this weekend because today is a Friday. I just cannot wait. I'm holding together Sandnes Garn Lina and Tin Lina, and which one is the other one? Duo. So Sandnes Garn Duo and Sandnes Garn Tin Lina. I don't know. It's Norwegian, I think. I don't speak Norwegian, but it's very soft, very nice. Lina is a cotton linen viscose blend, I think, and Duo is merino cotton. And I'm knitting this on 3 millimeter needles, so it's gonna be very tight and very structured. And yeah, I'm just very excited for this. And finally, I also have 2 projects that are hibernating. So I have a Berlin scarf that I'm not going to show you because I don't even know where I've put it. But it's a very, very simple stockinette scarf in the round. So you cast on with a provisional cast on, I think, and you just knit in the round, and then you just seam the ends and create tassels. I think they're I-cord tassels, but I'm not sure. And I'm knitting this using 2 strands of drops brushed alpaca silk held together. And I don't remember the color, but it's some kind of creamy off-white color. I'll probably show this in another video when I pick it back up in the fall or winter. So I will have a scarf because I haven't had a scarf this year. So I've been stealing my partner's scarf that I've made for him and just wrapping myself up in other types of clothes, but I haven't been wearing a scarf that is my own. So I need a scarf because I'm someone who gets really cold. And the other project I'm hibernating, I actually cast this on not long ago, but I realized it's not going to be useful now, so might as well wait until the winter. It's the Evermore Balaclava by Wool and Beyond again. That's where I've gotten so far, and that's for my son as well. It's very noisy, but I'm using Sunday by Sandnes Garn in Scarlet Red. I love this red, and I really want to knit something for myself in this red. So I'm very excited to get this done for him. I think he's gonna look really cute, and it's gonna be better actually than the Monday Balaclava that I have here, because as you can see, this one has a very open face, while the Evermore Balaclava, as you can see here, insert photo, really covers the forehead and the cheeks, which is going to be much nicer when it's really cold for him. These are all my FOs and whips. I can talk about a few plans that I have for the next few months for spring and summer. So I have a little list here. I'm not going to talk about everything because I have a lot of things I want to knit, and I think I might be overestimating the amount I can knit, but I'd rather shoot for the stars and reach, shoot for the moon and reach the stars. Something like this. Anyways, there's the Tutti Frutti t-shirt. It's very hard to say. Tutti Frutti t-shirt by Bea. Bea? How does she say her name? I think it's Bea Creative Knits. And it's just so nice. I really want to knit this. It's a baby tee. And I will be using the Knitting for Olive Merino that I frogged from the scarf, and I still have a few more skeins, so I have enough to knit in my size. It's a baby tee. It's so cute. It has a fruit, and I think the pattern will have 11 fruits to choose from. It's a duplicate stitch, which is something I've never done before, so I'm very excited for that as well. It's coming out on April 4th, so very soon, because today is March 27th. And my idea is to also find a kid knitting pattern for a t-shirt and make a matching one for my son with either the same or another fruit. I might do like several versions because I mean 11 fruits and they all seem so cute. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very excited for that one. And I actually want to make a lot of matching clothes for my son and I. That's one of my goals with knitting and sewing as well, because I've been sewing a lot as well. And that will probably be the topic of other videos. I just really want to make like a beautiful minimalistic capsule wardrobe that is mostly matching for my son and I. I don't like overconsumption. I don't like having too much. I don't like buying too much. I don't like having to store things that I then forget about because I have ADHD, and if I don't see things, I forget they exist. So yeah, my goal is to craft a beautiful curated wardrobe mostly matching for me and my son. Hi, it's now a few hours later, so that's why the lighting might be a little bit different. And my child is right here. He's playing by himself. He's really good at self-entertaining. So I'll just finish this quickly. I don't have a lot more to talk about. If you can hear him in the background, that's just how it's gonna be. So my other knitting plans in the nearish future are also, so I would love to make my son a matching cloud sweater, so with the same yarn, because the pattern also exists for kids. So I'm thinking of making him a matching one for next winter, so we can match again. And I'm considering making the Bea blouse by Petite Knit or some other sort of a little bit more fitted mohair-like blouse. So I'm thinking of this one, but there probably are other patterns from other designers. As you can see, I'm trying to branch out. I am branching out. I'm knitting from a lot of smaller designers as well, and I'm really enjoying it. And because I have a sweater's quantity of Camaros Midnight Soul in black, I would like to make something nice with it. And it could probably be a nice summer sweater because it will be like light and airy. And staying with Petite Knit though, I'm also thinking of making the Lyon sweater, which I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but I really like it. It's a very basic marinière, we say in French. So you know, those sweaters that are striped but only like not fully striped, but the stripes only start a bit lower. And yeah, I want to make like a classic one in white and navy blue. And I'm considering knitting it up in Sandnes Garn Duo because it's cotton and merino, so it would be a bit lighter, so also a nicer like transitional weather slash summer evening sweater. And then I would also like to knit a few t-shirts and summer tops in cotton because I have a lot of cotton yarn. So a lot of the yarn that my friend gave me a few years ago is We Are Knitters cotton, and I haven't used it, so I'm thinking of doing a few things with it. So I'm thinking of the Sabai top and also maybe the freestyle shirt, but I can't remember who it is by, so I'll insert it here. Oh, this is the other cat. Her name is Quinny. But we call her Nunui. And finally, I have this very, very, very nice and luxurious skein of Prime by Cardiff Cashmere. It's this very nice baby grayish blue. And it is, yeah, he loves to throw things. And it is 68% cashmere and 32% silk. And I only have one skein because I bought it in Copenhagen, but there was no price tag. So I was scared of getting more and it being way too expensive because I had already bought quite a lot of yarn. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to treat myself to one skein and make a small project with it. So I'm looking for a small project, but I'm very, very highly considering knitting a pattern that's not out yet, but it's by Nora from AKA Nora Knits, and she is going to release a small scarf pattern that is very simple with some kind of like small cable on the edges. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I'll link a video down below where she's talking about it so that you can check it out. But it's yeah, it's really nice and I really like her videos, so it would be nice to support a smaller creator who I think it would be her first pattern. So I think that's it for me. That was a pretty long video, I'm assuming. Thank you so much if you've watched this. I have no idea who is going to watch this or if anyone is going to watch this, but I don't really care. I mean, I do care because I want to find people who I can talk about knitting with. I want to build a community, but I'm not looking to make like millions of views on YouTube. I really don't care about that. I just want to build a nice community. I want to learn more and more and more and more about knitting and crafting in general and sewing as well, but mostly knitting. And I just want to keep improving and to keep connecting with like-minded people and knitters. So if you're here, if that's you, thank you so much for watching. Say hi in the comments, say something, hit me up on Instagram. We can become friends. Yeah, I'm just very excited for this chapter and creating more videos, because I'm not planning on making only one. I'm really hoping, not hoping, I will make the time to create more videos because it's important for me. So again, thank you for being here. I will leave you now and I'm saying bye and see you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.